And now, it's time for another Dice Tower review with Tom Vasel.
Hey folks, I'm Tom Vasel, and today we're taking a look at Patchwork Express. Now, Patchwork is a very, very popular two-player game in which you're trying to build a quilt out of tiles. It's done extremely well. It's a very highly rated game. I like it. I wasn't blown away by it. I like the idea of filling up a grid Tetris style. I think there's a lot of games that do it, but yeah, I'm just kind of it's a pretty fun game. Now, Patchwork Express, I thought, when I first heard about this, I thought, isn't Patchwork already kind of an express game? And the answer is no. This is definitely a faster, quicker version of the game, which is kind of the review right there, right? If you like Patchwork and wanted a faster, quicker version, boom. If you've never even heard of Patchwork, which is perfectly fine, here's how the game plays. So 15 patchwork pieces are going to be put around the board. The game calls them colorful pieces. You have some blue ones that are also here. And when we're down to 5 pieces, these pieces will be added. So these are kind of like extra ones that will be added near the end of the game. Players are each you're gonna have a board, the green or the yellow board over there, and you'll have a piece that's here. And when it's your turn, you can just keep going until it's your turn again. And it's your turn basically when you're behind the other person on the time track. And different things that you will do are going to give you actions. And as you take them, eventually you will be in front of the other person, then it's their turn. And when they're in front of you, then it's your turn. So you could take multiple turns in a row. So on your turn, you can do a couple things. First of all, you can move directly to the space in front of your opponent, and when you do that, you then are going to get buttons equal to the number of spaces that you've moved. Then you can also take this piece here on the board. It always starts next to the smallest piece here, and players also start with a couple buttons themselves. And on your turn, you can take one of the 3 pieces in front of you, clockwise, this piece here, and then you'll move it. So if I decide to take this piece, I have to pay the cost of it, so I'd have to pay 6 buttons, and I also have to pay the time units, so I'd have to move 3 time units here. I then am going to put this on my board somewhere, so maybe I'll put it like that. What I'm trying to do, obviously, is to, as time goes by, to slowly fill in my board. So maybe I will put this piece here later and that piece like that. Now this is kind of a problem because I've left this empty single space here, but every time you pass one of these with your scoring token, you can stick that on your board immediately to cover up one of those spots. Also, whenever you pass a button space here on the board, you'll count up all the buttons on your board, and that's how much income you will get. When both players get to the very middle, the game is going to end. You're going to count up all the buttons that you currently have. That's your score, minus 2 points for each square that you did not fill in on your board. That's the game. All the tiles are nice, bright, and colorful. It's really weird to me that they say there's colorful pieces and there's blue pieces. Is blue not a color? But whatever. The whole thing is going to look good. And as you slowly build up your board and add the different pieces to it, it gives you this nice patchwork feel. People are going to like that, I think, to like how the board comes together. I mean, you're going to get to a spot where maybe certain pieces won't fit on your board, but overall, you're just trying to make this cool patchwork quilt. And that's just going to look cool as the game goes by. The yellow and the green colors on the main board are pretty easy to distinguish between each other, and that's pretty much it. The game is very nice looking. And there you have it. That's how you play Patchwork Express. It is certainly a quick game. If you've played Patchwork before, the biggest differences here are you have those blue tiles that come in after the color tiles are used up. There's no 7x7 grid bonus in this one. Other than that, it's pretty much the same. It's just smaller, brighter, more colorful, I guess. Again, that's kind of my review. I think it's a fine game. I'm not like falling all over the floor about it. It's something that I do to pass time. I'm amused by it. I have a good time with it. It's kind of just a nice back and forth game. Sure, sometimes you're going to get really irritated when someone takes that one piece that would fit perfectly, or they move that piece in the circle around the outside to a spot where you can't get that exact piece that you want. But the idea of taking an action that requires a lot of time units, then giving your opponent a couple chances to catch up, is a pretty good one. I think that's a neat idea. I like the buttons on the patches being a sort of income, which, by the way, the income in this game, I feel, is slightly a little bit more robust than the original Patchwork. It's a lot easier in this game to get a lot of pieces with buttons, as opposed to the original one, you could make a really nice thing and be like, oh, I'm getting no income, which is a bad thing. But yeah, it's pretty much the exact same game. If you don't have either, which would I recommend? Honestly, I'd recommend Patchwork because it's a bigger game with a lot more going on. Not a lot more going on, but there's more going on in it, and it's just really an issue of time. Do you want a game that takes 15 to 20 minutes? Well, then this is the one. Is that what the box says? Box says 10 minutes. Okay, maybe 10 minutes. If you want a game that takes 20 to 30 minutes, then you'll get Patchwork. So Patchwork Express, a lot of people are really going to enjoy it. Have fun. Dice Tower Judgment, pleasant.